She couldn't speak. He didn't listen. They didn't believe him. The town didn't question. For 30 years, everyone was wrong. A 17-year-old cheerleader walked away from a football game and vanished into the Texas woods. They found her 3 days later, throat slashed, hands folded, posed like someone wanted her discovered. The town destroyed the boyfriend. Spit on him. Broke him. Buried him. He was innocent. DNA proved the real killer was the high school principal, a predator who groomed her for years. But he didn't kill her. His daughter did. And when police found a photograph in his safe, the victim already dead, his hands in the frame arranging her body, they realized something impossible. He couldn't have taken that photo. Both his hands are in the shot. Someone else was in those woods. Someone who watched. Someone who documented everything. Someone who's kept this secret for 30 years. What happened next changed everything. Before we continue, this case involves grooming, murder, and institutional betrayal. The details are disturbing. Viewer discretion advised. October 1995. The Woodlands, Texas. A 17-year-old girl they called Jinx walked out of a homecoming football game, waved to a security guard, and disappeared into the night. 3 days later, hikers found her in Jones State Forest, sitting upright against an oak tree, hands folded in her lap like she'd fallen asleep. But she hadn't fallen asleep. Someone had arranged her that way. Someone had posed her body and wanted it discovered. The town needed answers. They needed someone to blame. They chose Travis Miller. He was 18. Poor. An outcast. The girl's secret boyfriend. Perfect for the role everyone needed him to play. The town isolated him. They made him feel like he was the only person on Earth and that the whole world was against him. Travis stood alone against a whole town. But here, we don't let people stand alone. I want to show exactly how far this story is reaching. Go to the comments right now and tell me where you are watching from, your city, your state, your country. Let's fill the comment section to prove that while the Woodlands tried to keep this quiet, the whole world is finally watching. For 8 years, the Woodlands destroyed him. Smashed his mailbox night after night. Spit on him at the grocery store. Spray-painted murderer across his family's house. Travis never fought back. He just disappeared, stopped leaving his apartment, stopped answering his phone. In 2003, broken and alone, he drove his Camaro into a bridge abutment at 70 miles per hour. No skid marks. No attempt to brake. He left a note on the dashboard. I loved her. I didn't hurt her. I'm sorry I couldn't save her. Travis Miller was 26 years old when he died. He spent the last 8 years of his life carrying the weight of a crime he didn't commit. He was telling the truth the entire time. 21 years after Travis's death, the evidence box was reopened. Inside, fingernail scrapings from the victim. Preserved in a sealed envelope for 29 years. In 2024, genetic genealogy technology that didn't exist in 1995 extracted a DNA profile. The match came back in 72 hours. Not Travis Miller. Not some drifter passing through town. Arthur Higgins. Former superintendent of schools. Deacon at First Baptist Church. The man who spent 30 years as this community's moral compass. His DNA was under a dead girl's fingernails. Arthur Higgins had been grooming her since she was 15 years old. Using his position. His authority. But the forensics told investigators something they didn't expect. Arthur didn't kill her. his 18-year-old daughter did in a jealous rage when she realized her own father was in love with a 17-year-old student. 2 confessions. 2 arrests. 30 years of lies finally exposed. The case is solved. Except for one thing. When police searched Arthur's home, they found a Polaroid hidden in a safe behind a false wall. The victim, already dead, positioned against that oak tree. Arthur's hands are in the photograph. Both of them. One adjusting her hair, the other resting on her shoulder. The angle is from above. There were no timers on Polaroid cameras in 1995. He couldn't have taken this photograph himself. Someone else was in those woods that night. Someone who watched him stage a crime scene. Someone who documented it. This story was buried for 30 years because people with power wanted it buried. The algorithm works the same way. It pushes down difficult stories and promotes the easy ones. We are fighting to change that. We are currently racing toward our goal of 1,000 subscribers. That is the number we need to force these stories into the spotlight. If you believe the destroyed deserve a voice, and if you want to help us hit the 1,000 subscriber milestone, click that subscribe button right now. You aren't just watching a video, you're joining a community that refuses to let the forgotten stay forgotten. Let's get to 1,000 strong today. Now let's go back to where it started. 1995, a perfect town. A golden girl. And the secret that would destroy them both. To understand how this happened, you need to understand the Woodlands. Not the nightmare it became, but the dream it was supposed to be. The Woodlands, Texas. In 1995, it was exactly what the glossy brochures promised, a master-planned community carved out of East Texas pine forest. The streets had names like Peaceful Grove and Tranquil Way. This was where oil executives and corporate lawyers moved their families to escape the city. A bubble of privilege. It was safe. Predictable. Perfect. That's what made October 13, 1995 so devastating. Because the monster didn't come from outside. The monster had been here all along. To understand what the Woodlands lost, you need to know who she really was. Her friends called her Jinx. She kept a journal. Wrote in it every single night before bed, always in purple ink. The last entry, dated October 12th, read, "I want to go somewhere no one knows my name. Start fresh. Be someone completely new." She was saving money for a car, a used Volkswagen Beetle she wanted to earn herself. On the morning of October 13th, she texted her best friend at 7:42 a.m., "Tonight's the last game I fake smile through. After this, I'm done pretending." She wasn't talking about cheerleading. She was talking about a secret involving a man 43 years old. She was done pretending. And that decision would cost her everything. The Jenkins girl had one true rival at the Woodlands High. The principal's daughter. They'd competed since middle school. Class rank. Homecoming court. Varsity cheer captain. The principal's daughter lost every single time. At the homecoming game on October 13th, the last night the Jenkins girl was seen alive, the principal's daughter was on those sidelines too. In photographs taken that evening, she appears in the background of almost every shot. Always watching. Never smiling. To Linda Jenkins, her daughter was a firecracker. She made the world louder, Linda would tell reporters years later. And when she disappeared, everything went completely quiet. Linda would carry the weight of that silence for the next 30 years. Never stopping. Never giving up. Never letting go. October 13th, 1995. Homecoming night. At halftime, the Jenkins girl told her squad she wasn't feeling well. She grabbed her bag, walked toward the parking lot, waved to the security guard. By midnight, her white Jeep was found parked at the trailhead of Jones State Forest. Engine cold. Driver's door hanging open. Her phone sat on the passenger seat. Her journal was stuffed in the glove box. She hadn't taken anything with her, which meant she hadn't left voluntarily. By 6 a.m. Saturday morning, the Woodlands had mobilized 300 volunteers, K-9 units, helicopters. For 3 days straight, they found nothing. Then, just after 2 p.m. on October 16th, a pair of hikers went off-trail near Sawmill Creek. What they discovered would haunt this community for decades. The hikers found her sitting upright against an oak tree, hands folded in her lap, face turned toward the creek as if watching the water. From a distance, she looked peaceful. Then they got closer. They saw the laceration across her throat, the bruises circling her wrists. She hadn't fallen asleep. She'd been arranged. The staging was deliberate, almost theatrical. But here's the detail that made detectives pause. Lividity patterns indicated she'd been killed somewhere else entirely. Somewhere near the creek bed. Someone had moved her body after she died, positioned her against that tree, folded her hands. This wasn't just murder. This was a message. Every small-town tragedy needs a villain, and the Woodlands found one. Travis Miller. He was 18. Poor. The Jenkins girl's secret boyfriend. Police brought Travis in for questioning. Held him for 14 hours. Where were you that night? Driving around. Alone. Did you kill her? No. I loved her. No blood in his Camaro. No DNA match under her fingernails. Travis Miller should have been cleared. Instead, the Woodlands decided he was guilty anyway. Detectives looked at others briefly. Coach Dean Whitley, Raymond Burke. Both had airtight alibis. So detectives circled back to Travis. Travis Miller was never arrested. Never charged. Never stood trial. It didn't matter. The Woodlands convicted him anyway. His mailbox was smashed. People spat on him. One manager told him, "I can't have you here. It's bad for business." Travis stopped leaving his apartment. Stopped answering his phone. For 8 years, he lived in that shadow. Then, on a January morning in 2003, he drove his Camaro into a bridge abutment. He was 26 years old. Travis died believing the world hated him. He died thinking no one was on his side. It's too late to save him, but it's not too late to clear his name. I want you to hit the like button right now as a vote for Travis. Every single like tells YouTube that the truth matters more than the mob mentality. It pushes this video out to thousands more people so they know Travis Miller was innocent. Don't let the silence win. Hit that like button for Travis. Linda Jenkins never stopped fighting. She wrote letters to the sheriff's office for 26 years. 312 in total. "I'm running out of time," she told her husband. And they're running out of excuses. In 2024, technology finally caught up. Item 7C, fingernail scrapings from the victim. The DNA matched directly to one of the founding families of the Woodlands. The family of Arthur Higgins. Retired superintendent of schools. Deacon at First Baptist Church. The man who had spoken at her funeral. His DNA was under a dead girl's fingernails. Tuesday morning, May 2024. SWAT teams surrounded the sprawling brick estate. Arthur Higgins answered on the second knock. "I know why you're here," Arthur said quietly. "I've been expecting you for 30 years. Detective Marcus Mills called Linda Jenkins. "Is it him?" she asked. "The one I always suspected." "Arthur Higgins." "I saw the way he looked at her," Linda whispered. 30 years nobody listened. "We're listening now, Mrs. Jenkins." Arthur sat alone in the interrogation room. "I was there," he said quietly. "But I didn't kill her." "Then explain the DNA." "She was trying to end it. Our relationship." "She was 17. I was 43. I was her principal." "You groomed her." "I loved her." "Tell me what happened in those woods." "We arranged to meet after she left the game. I drove to the forest. She was waiting by the creek." Arthur Higgins was a textbook institutional predator. A man who weaponized trust. It started with attention, then isolation. By the time the relationship became physical, the Jenkins girl believed it was love. She was wrong. Prosecutors were ready to charge Arthur with murder. But deep in the evidence box, they found a crumpled receipt from a Shell station. Dated October 13, 1995. DNA on the receipt didn't match Arthur. It didn't match Travis. It was female. A familial match to Arthur. Arthur Higgins had a daughter. The runner-up for varsity cheer captain. Detectives requested a new warrant. When detectives arrived at her door, she didn't deny it. "I followed them that night. I watched him beg her not to leave. Watched him grab her wrists. Then I watched him walk away. He left her alive." "Yes." "She was crying. And then I walked out of the trees." "What happened next?" "She looked at me and smiled. And she said, 'Your dad loves me more than he loves you.'" "What did you do?" "I had a box cutter in my jacket pocket. I wanted the smiling to stop. The jagged laceration across the throat wasn't the work of a professional. It was a box cutter, held by an 18-year-old girl in a frenzy of jealousy. Just a girl who couldn't stand the smiling anymore." But here's where the story stopped aligning. Arthur claimed he left the Jenkins girl alive by the creek. His daughter claimed she killed her at the creek and ran immediately. Yet the body was found posed against a tree hundreds of feet away. Someone returned to those woods. Someone repositioned a dead 17-year-old girl. Either they are lying, or someone else was in those woods that night. During the raid on Arthur's home, they found the Polaroid in his safe. The Jenkins girl, already dead, posed against the oak tree. Arthur's hands are in the frame. Both of them. The angle is from above, someone standing over Arthur as he knelt beside the body. He couldn't have taken this photograph himself. Someone else stood in those woods, watched Arthur Higgins arrange a dead girl's body, and documented it. Arthur claims he found the photo in his mailbox. His daughter swears she fled. In online forums, one name surfaces repeatedly. Deputy Marcus Caldwell. First on the scene in 1995. Former student of Arthur's. Now a state senator. He has never been questioned about the Polaroid. The DNA evidence solved the murder. But the question of that photograph remains open. Arthur faces 25 years. His daughter faces life without parole. Travis Miller's mother filed a $40 million lawsuit against the county. "My boy died believing everyone hated him," she said. "And he was innocent the entire time." Linda Jenkins attended every hearing. 29 years of letters. She wasn't paranoid. She was right. The Polaroid remains the final mystery. And this is where I need you to go on the record. Don't just sit there, I want your theory in the comments. Theory A: Arthur is a liar. He staged it, took the photo with a tripod or timer we don't know about, and invented the mailbox story to protect himself. Theory B: the daughter is lying. She didn't run. She stayed, watched her father clean up her mess, and took the photo as blackmail to ensure he never abandoned her. Theory C: Senator Marcus Caldwell, the deputy who was first on the scene, was involved. He helped his old mentor cover it up, and his entire career is built on that secret. Type A, B, or C in the comments right now. Tell me who held the camera. Let's debate this below. The Jenkins girl never got to drive her Volkswagen Beetle to California. Travis Miller's grave finally has a headstone that tells the truth: he was innocent. He was loved. He was failed by those who should have protected him. Evidence doesn't forget. DNA doesn't lie. Time doesn't erase the truth. It just delays it. If you are still watching, you are one of the people who cares about the truth. Remember, we are racing to 1,000 subscribers to help this channel fight for the victims who can't fight for themselves. Click that subscribe button. Join us. Be the person who refuses to look away. Next week, a woman who vanished from a shopping mall in 1981. And a deathbed confession that changed everything. Stay safe out there.